time now is 7:39 on Radio Christian Voice, and it's time for the Smart Money Show. Thank you for joining us. Yes, it's Chill in the studio. Chill, how are you
What's
today?
What's going on? I'm picking up whatever it is that you dropped. It could be important.
Thank you.
You never know these things, right?
I know, right? Okay. Yes, I think it is actually quite important.
You see? There you go.
Thank you, Jill.
We don't want to lose jobs over little things that we don't think are important.
I know. Okay, so what are we talking about today, Chill?
Well, welcome everybody to the Cavmont Bank Smart Money Show, your number one money show, brought to you by your number one bank, Cavmont Bank. You know what I've started to notice? Can I tell you something?
What have you started
I've just started to notice that other people have been talking money, not as well as we do, but just saying.
So you
we started
are setting the trend. Yes.
Not setting, we started the trend.
Started the trend. Yes. Oh my goodness. Okay.
You know.
Yeah.
Cholwe.
It's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's
all right. We
keep
welcome
on.
all our viewers on Facebook, all our listeners, and of course, welcome to our Diamond TV viewers. I hope you've been enjoying this season series of the Smart Money Show, and we are here to talk about something that everybody wants to talk about today.
Okay.
Next week is Financial Literacy Week. So Twombo will be here on Friday with one of our friends from the Financial Literacy Week Committee from Bank of Zambia, to talk to us more about money, because we really like money. I really like money. I just don't know. I mean, legit legal money. Just saying.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't we all though?
Team. So today we're going to talk about how can you increase your net worth.
Okay.
Hey, ready?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm ready.
So if you've got some questions or comments that you'd like to add to our conversation, please go ahead and check us out on the Cavmont Bank Facebook page if you are tuning in right now live. And you can bring in your comments, your questions, your thoughts, whatever it might be, right? So first of all, guys, if you don't know how to calculate your net worth, I want you to listen to what I'm about to tell you right now.
Okay.
Now that, so basically, how do you figure out how to calculate your net worth? You get your net worth. You can go on the internet and actually find a whole bunch of net worth calculators. So what they do is you basically put in like, this is my salary, this is how much I spend every month, this is how much my, say, vehicle is worth, this is how much my house is worth, and it will tell you what is your actual net worth. So it might say to you, Cholwe, okay, based on the things you've told us, your net worth currently is at 150,000 kwacha. Let's hope it's more than that, but you know.
I hope so.
Yeah. It can be depressing, so prepare yourself on that
Okay.
day. Yeah. So now that, after you do this and you figured out how to calculate your net worth, let's go on to discuss how to take this new knowledge and use it as a guide for personal finance decisions going forward that will help you increase that net worth, okay? I've never met any person who does not want to increase their net worth. Even the people who we think are like the richest people.
They still want more.
Yeah, and they still keep doing more. And you're like, but you're already rich enough.
Yeah. Like what? Yeah. Everybody wants more.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's always room for more.
There's always room for more. Anyway. All right, so guys, there's two ways that you can basically increase your net worth, and they're very simple. So from basically a very simple net worth formula, net worth equals assets minus liabilities, which is what we just said, okay? Assets are things you own, your house, your car, your salary. Okay, yeah, sure, because it brings you some kind of, it brings you in finances. Liabilities are the things you need to pay for, okay? So your bills every single month, your school fees, these are all liabilities. So basically, in a year, you take how much do I have in assets, all the things I have that if today I had to sell, I could get hard cash for, or I could get hard cash, say, from my salary, minus all the things I need to pay for and spend on. That is basically your net worth, like we've said, okay? And yet, again, another way of saying the exact same thing is net worth equals what you own minus what you owe.
Right. What you own minus what you owe. Okay.
Therefore, there are two ways to increase your net worth, and they're very simple, all right? This is not rocket science. I just want you to know this.
Okay.
Number one is increase your assets.
Oh.
buy more things that bring you more money.
Okay.
So when you come to Cavmont Bank and you get a loan for 150,000 kwacha, okay?
Uh-huh.
That loan for 150,000 kwacha, when you first get it, it could be considered an asset because you're ideally going to put it into something that's going to bring you money. Okay?
Right. Hopefully.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. So really, don't come and get your 150,000 kwacha and buy a bunch of shoes. That's something I would do if I was not smart money.
Right.
Or if I just
But
had
don't you think that would bring you money if one day you resold them?
How much are you going to sell those shoes after you've got
right.
them through the cobbled streets of...
You've got to look at
I'm
them.
just saying. And then you know one side is even like
Yeah,
shaved
with-
off.
yeah.
And you're like, no, I can
And
sell
then
you
you-
this same designer
you're
shoe that I...
slanting
Oh,
in your
please,
stand.
mommy.
Right.
Ah, wait. It's not going to work. It's not going to work. That's not...
Okay.
Those are not things that are assets, all right? So the first thing you got to do is increase your assets.
Okay.
So if you're like, you know what, I think I can buy more property. That's an asset, you know. I can buy another piece of land. I can look, the thing about a car is that it depreciates quite quickly. However, it's still an asset. It's still something you can still sell and get some money back for. You
Yeah.
just won't probably get the
Get
money.
the same amount.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
All right. The second thing is decrease your liabilities. You know, I like how these things just sound fancy, but it's basically what we've been saying about, you know, budget and spend less.
Right.
Basically the same thing.
Okay.
So if you keep adding money from your paycheck into your savings account, your assets go up because you have more hard cash, okay? If the value of your home increases, booyah, 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 your assets have gone up, all right? Fantastic. That increases the value of the assets as well, your total value. When you're younger, okay, and hopefully not heavily in debt, you should try to pay attention to every to decreasing what you owe. So if you're younger, let's say you have come out of university and you have a job, okay, sort of your first job or whatever it might be. Then you're like, okay, I have a bit of, let's say, a bit of school debt. Maybe my parents helped pay for most of it, but I don't really have other debt. Before going to try and just buy a car, please try to reduce that debt or
Okay.
decrease what you owe, because then your assets will have much higher value. Whereas if you owe a lot and you have this huge asset, it's like it almost means nothing to a certain extent because you've actually got to pay off something. So let me give you an example. So if you come to Cavmont and get a home loan that fits, all right? You get your
Right.
home loan, you get your 500,000 kwacha home loan, you go and buy your house. Now, yes, that house is an asset. The good thing about a house is generally houses will appreciate.
Yes.
Okay? Unless you just don't take care of them at all right?
Right.
But generally they'll appreciate. So if you bought that house at 500,000 kwacha, you could check in a year. In a year, it could be worth 600,000 kwacha. So which means your net worth increased by 100,000 kwacha because you have to say, okay, that's 600,000. I need to pay back Cavmont whatever I owe them, right? So you owe them the 500,000 kwacha. If you paid them back, you would have 100,000 kwacha net worth,
Right.
right? Okay.
Right.
So sometimes it can feel like you're sort of stuck in an endless treadmill when you have large debts, especially when you're trying to tackle them. You get your paycheck, you take a small chunk towards debt repayments, then use the rest to pay bills, and you're like, there's nothing. I've got no assets. You might even feel guilty because you don't contribute to, like, say, a pension fund or some kind of savings for later in life, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But if you recognize that your net worth is moving in the right direction by accelerating how quickly you pay down the debts, you might not feel as frustrated.
Right.
All right?
Okay.
Are you with us?
Yes.
Do you got what's going on?
Yes, I
Are you
am
sure? Okay,
following what's going on.
just making sure.
Okay,
Because you know you bank elsewhere, so I know your bank doesn't give you the kind of financial knowledge that that Cavmont Bank gives our beloved customers. So I just want to make sure
Right.
that you're good.
Okay,
All right,
I'm
super.
good.
Okay.
I'm good.
So this example I've given is a perfect example of why knowing and tracking your net worth is important. Because when you don't know and you don't track, you have no idea which direction you're going in. It's like people who work in a company where they do sales. If you don't have targets, if you don't have an idea of what you need to bring in for the company to be successful, you have no idea where you're going.
Right.
And it's the same kind of thing. So, as I mentioned, so this is a very good way to just track your net worth and the importance of it. if you get into the habit of updating your net worth at least once a year, you'll be able to see the fruits of your labor. Really, you will, because you'll see that last year I was at 50,000 net worth. This year I'm now at 150,000. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. And you that increase in net worth, even from a negative net worth to a less negative net worth, okay, can boost your conviction to slay that debt. Okay.
Okay.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, sounds fancy.
Why are you not excited?
Sounds fancy.
Why are you not excited?
I am excited.
I mean, I just feel
maybe
like,
just not as much as you are, but
Well,
yeah,
I'm just thinking-
I am getting there.
yeah.
Yeah, keep going.
Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So really negative is worse than less negative. All right. So even if you're going from, it's like, let's say you had a test, okay, at school, and you had a math test and you got 40%. That's bad.
Yeah.
That's like horrible.
Yeah.
But imagine the next time
What
you
if
got
somebody
like
just got
45%. Well, that's not good. They shouldn't be getting
Okay.
40%. Like, really?
Yeah.
Then the next
They should
time
probably, yeah.
you
Okay.
got 45. You got better.
Yeah.
Isn't it,
Yeah.
cameraman?
Yeah.
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 Cameraman whose name we cannot say. Okay. Okay. All right.
Right.
Here we go, everybody. Which should you focus more on, increasing assets or decreasing liabilities? This is the question to all right?
Yeah.
As always, it depends, okay? If you have high interest debt, that's almost always going to be your number one priority, all right?
Okay.
Is decreasing that high interest debt. You want to tip the balance, okay? Tip the balance to focus more on decreasing liabilities than increasing liabilities. Once you've gotten your debt under control, you'll find your own balance between using surplus cash. This is very important, people. All right.
Okay.
Once you get your debt, and listen to me carefully.
I'm listening.
Once you get your debt under control, okay, get your big priority debt under control where you're not drowning and you're like, ooh, I'm finally floating in the pool. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah. And then now you can start using that surplus cash to increase assets and decrease your debt. Don't try to increase your assets when your debt is killing you with more debt. You get it, right?
Okay,
Because that is not helping your net worth.
Right.
So what you want to do is decrease.
Focus on decreasing the
your
debt.
debt. And then once you start having a bit of a surplus, then you go ahead and boom, increase your debt. You got it, right?
Okay, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
fantastic.
that makes sense.
Either is good. So, either way is good, and both will keep your net worth moving in the right direction. Now, before we sort of clock off, the last thing I want to look at is knowing what you can control. All right, this is very important because you are the only person in control of your money. Please do not ever think someone else controls your money. You are the one to control your money. You're the one who makes the money. You're the one who spends the money. You're the one who decides how it goes. All right.
Right.
So what can you control? It's important to keep the focus on how you manage your cash flow. So you can run a surplus and use that surplus to move your net worth in the right direction as best as you can. All right. The reason I say this is that it's quite possible to be doing all the right things and still see your net worth go down.
Right.
Because sometimes we just don't know where things are going. So, and you say, okay, why? Okay, let's look at the price of homes, for example, right? For many people, this is going to be one of their biggest assets in life. A home, a house, a flat, whatever it is you live in, okay?
Yeah, yeah.
This is probably one of the biggest assets. And although your home value will generally increase steadily, very steadily over long periods of time. Like I said, today you could buy your house at 500,000, but it could be in 10 years that it's worth 60 to 50. Right. You know what I mean? It
Right.
might not be tomorrow, you
Yeah.
know, but steadily, generally, the house price goes up over
Yeah.
a period of time. However, housing markets can indeed go down from time to time. All right. In 2008, we saw a market crash in the United States. We've seen the housing market change drastically in Zambia. It's gone up a lot, but then many people are saying, perhaps it'll reach a ceiling and start to
then
drop.
come
But
down.
we don't know what's going to happen. All right.
Right.
It's also about how is the new market behaving when that time comes, right? So when you have a large asset, the monthly fluctuations in their value, they dwarf your monthly surplus. You might want to run with your budget. So which means, which then gets towards increasing your asset value and decreasing your liabilities. So this means, So although if you have a big asset and it's taking up a lot of your cash,
Okay.
your surplus will reduce.
Okay.
Okay. Until that asset sort of brings that extra surplus.
Right.
So if you have a mortgage with Cavmont Bank, for example, and you're like, I have this house, know that for the next 10 or 15 years that you're paying off that mortgage, you probably will not enjoy the surplus of net worth from that house until it's completely paid off.
Right.
However, once you do pay it off, you now have an extra, let's say, for example, you're paying 6,000 kwacha a month for your mortgage, just for a number out there. So now imagine after you do your 15 years, if you decided to do 15 years or 20 years, you will now have a surplus of that 5 or 6,000 kwacha every month that you normally used to pay to your mortgage. And now you take that surplus and put it into something that's going to build an asset. You get it, right?
Yes.
Okay, now. So you can be doing all the right things, but occasionally your net worth will move in the wrong direction due to, for example, maybe housing market, stock market. If you've invested heavily, remember you can visit the Lusaka Stock Exchange and buy stocks for Cavmont Capital Holdings Limited. We're quite stable.
Right.
Quite stable. Quite good. But you
Yes.
never know. The stock market can. I mean, there's movies on stock market
Right.
crashes,
Yeah.
right? Because
Yeah,
people
that's
can
true.
lose
Because it's a big deal.
It's a humongous
Yeah.
deal.
Uh-huh.
It's just I think our stock exchange is still a little bit new and immature. But the more mature it becomes, I mean, you should watch it. We see stocks that many years ago were at 4, 5, whatever 100 kwacha, and they've dropped, and now they're maybe in like 70 kwacha, 80 kwacha. It just happens, right? Okay. And that's to be expected. Now, so what I want you to I want you to Google net worth calculator, calculate your net worth, okay, and what makes it increase or decrease. Make sure to update at least once a year and focus increasing on updating that number over time. Sometimes you can even give yourself a goal and say, every year I want to see a 5% increase in my net worth. Please do not try to do 50%. That will never work, and you'll just get depressed.
Right.
And then you'll be like, oh.
So we have to be realistic.
Be very realistic, because you cannot control sometimes the market, like we said. You can have 5 homes and you just see all of them depreciate at once. You know what I mean?
That's
or
true.
all of them appreciate at once. Yeah.
Which would be more hopeful for appreciation in assets, isn't it?
Yes, exactly. One of the best things is to, like, if you do come, when you do come to Cavmont Bank, because I will be expecting you, okay, is when you borrow, think about what you're borrowing for. That is extremely important, okay? I
Yes.
know it can be said that, I just want to borrow for my wedding or for my trip, but is that going to bring you any net worth later on in life? Probably not. Borrowing for your education will bring you net worth, because you will
That's
be able
right.
to get a better job. You'll be able to, invest in other things, right? Borrowing for a house. That is the number one thing you can borrow for that is like super and great. There is land, homes, they very rarely depreciate unless something happens, as we mentioned. And most of the time, these things will increase your net worth. And if you see when you come to the bank or you want to borrow, most of the things they ask for is, do you have a title to a house?
Right.
Which just shows you the value of that asset, right? Cars, yes. Remember, though, that cars, the minute you drive them off the lot or the minute you pay somebody for it, it has already depreciated by 10%. All
Right.
right. So, but I mean, this is also something you can use because it does bring you some sort of net worth increase, right? Think about it. The stock exchange is also a great way, especially as you see companies that are doing well. Look at their share price. Get in there, okay? I know we're not quite into cryptocurrency in Zambia yet, but I see it as something that we're gonna be hearing more and more about, even in Zambia. Start to do your research. Think about some of these things. One day you should ask Ingrid. I think she's got quite some insight in Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies. So when you come to borrow from Cavmont Bank, think about what it is you're borrowing for, okay? Think about what are you going to do with that money. So when you're ready, if you're ready right now, call us on 3333 on Airtel or MTN, or 0800 100 3333 on Zemtel. We're definitely happy to help. We've got a really great promotion right now. If you don't bank with us, that's not a problem. You don't have to wait for 3 months. You can come just one time. Your salary drops, boom, today, tomorrow. You can apply for an unsecured loan for 150,000 kwacha. Also, come and get a mortgage, a home loan that fits. There's nothing better than having your own home.
Yeah. All right, Chill.
Oh my
Thank
God,
you so
that was like a lot.
I know. Okay. On that note, thank you
note.
so much for this information, and we look forward to having you again on the show.
Yeah, Tombo's going to be here on Friday. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. I'd like to say hello to all the people I met in Copper Belt. Thanks for... They really listen in Copper Belt. They're
They do,
so
don't they?
sophisticated and civilized. I love them. We'll see you later, everybody. Talk to you next week. Thank you, everybody, for tuning into the Smart Money Show, only brought to you by Cavmont Bank, your greatest bank in Zambia. We look forward to seeing you. Make sure you come and visit us. Get a home loan that fits. We're giving all sorts of wonderful conditions, plus 5% cash back. That's right, 5% cash back after 12 months of uninterrupted repayments. That means you get 5% cash back on whatever you have paid onto your loans so far. There's not a better deal than that right now. There's not a better deal. So I look forward to seeing you. Make sure you come and check us out at Cavmont Bank. We've got 20 outlets all around the country. And like we said before, you know where to call us. We know you know where to find us. And we look forward to seeing you next week. Thanks for tuning in. Bye-bye.